Here's the 2-2. Bogarts takes on the outside corner. Strike three called, and game one goes to the Cubs. A magnificent performance by the Chicago bullpen. They retire all 14 batters that they face, and the back-to-back homers by Suzuki and Kelly in the bottom of the fifth turn out to be enough.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Jesse Agler on the call there this afternoon to Wrigley Field. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., who's in Chicago, and Matt Skraby alongside here in the Odyssey Palace studios. We got a couple of hours here on Gwynn and Chris, and then Skraby's going to carry it through until 7 o'clock. The Skraby Chronicles coming up a little bit later on, but today the Chronicles read 3-1 Chicago, and Tony is in Chicago there back at the hotel after the ball game today. And I got to tell you, Tony, as we welcome you in to the show and welcome everybody into the show, the game has been over now for about, I'm going to say 90 to 95 minutes since Jesse made that call on that last pitch to Xander Bogaerts. And in that short amount of time, I have already heard enough negativity to last me a lifetime. I have heard and read and seen and whined and complained to just about every possible thing you could imagine. And all I can say is it's a good thing none of you people out there are playing in the game tomorrow. You would think it is. We didn't know even reason to show up tomorrow, Tony, based on the reaction around here.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give that any time, honestly, because it's not helpful. It doesn't matter, honestly, how anybody feels. It sucks. Everybody is, feeling away about the loss, and you give people the space to kind of be in their feelings for the next 16 hours or whatever it needs to be before everybody starts to focus on tomorrow's game. But it's disappointing. I think it's disappointing for everybody, including the guys out there. And so now the reality is they'll have to do something that hasn't been done in this new format kind of playoff system. And that is, after losing game one, find a way to win this series. Now they got some history on this side. They went in 1984. They lost the first two games in Chicago before returning home to win 3 straight. So they'll need to win 2 straight. The job is a little bit less, but it is what's going to have to be done.
They also spotted St. Louis the first game in the 2020 COVID playoffs. And came back to win that series 2-1. So, yes, there is some precedence. Mike Schilt was on the other dugout for that one. But, yeah, it's a bad feeling today. But that's all it is, and that's all it should be. If everybody want to look for a blame game here, you want to say this should have happened, that should have happened. They can't hit. They can't do this. They can't do that. It just – it doesn't matter, really. They got shut down. The Cubs bullpen pitched great. The Padres, I thought, I'll be honest with you, Tony, I know it's difficult to see through the fog right now. I saw a lot of hard-hit balls get caught on the warning track, frankly, today. Jackson just missed one. I know Sheets just missed one. I know Arise lined one. I mean, that wind was blowing in, and I thought, with Bush getting that first fly ball of the game knocked down, I was like, oh, thank goodness the wind was blowing in. But after that, I think it hurt the Padres more than anything else, because the Padres hit some hard shots out there that didn't go anywhere. So, yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. It only matters if those fall in or if they go over the fence, because otherwise they're outs right now. And I didn't think the Padres swung the bats poorly. I just, they had, 5 opportunities running on third, less than 2, and they didn't get them in. And those are the things that ultimately win you games or keep you in games longer to be able to win a game. The 2 solo shots are what they are. I think he made a mistake to Suzuki.
and he left that ball down right around the knees, and he hit a line drive. His ball wasn't affected.
Kelly.
Who hit the set? Kelly's ball certainly had to swim against current there to get over that wall, but he hit it well enough. And flip side, Padres have the double. They get a runner on third, no outs, can't get him in. They get another runner on third, less than 2, can't get him in. And so, those ultimately boils down to execution, and the Padres weren't able to execute. Padres were I think they had that 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
The Cubs were 0 for. They didn't get a hit with runners in scoring position.
Normally it doesn't work that way, but
right. They got the 2 homers. So the long ball we know is effective during this time of year. They got the 1 wild pitch, one of the few we've seen Freddie for me not keep in front.
Yeah, right.
That one got away, and it set up the sac fly from Dansby Swanson. And that's the only run that they manufactured in that ball game, but the Padres on their end didn't take advantage of the opportunities they had.
Let's go back to the 2 situations where the Padres had runners at third base with less than 2 outs. Both times, the first batter in that situation was Ryan O'Hearn, lefty on lefty. And I got to tell you, Tony, how can you criticize Ryan O'Hearn? He hit a sharp ground ball that Swanson made an excellent diving backhand stop on, kept the run from scoring. And the second time O'Hearn hit muscled the ball over the infield. I thought that was a base hit when it left the bat for sure. Swanson, tracked that down. Those are 2 really good plays by Swanson. So I'm not trying to be critical. The only thing I wish maybe was, and if they would have had the contact play on, with Bogaerts at third base, maybe when O'Hearn hit that shot, Bogaerts would have been able to scamper home before Swanson got up. But, that is, we don't know for sure. Swanson may have still got him because that ball was hit hard. Other than that, Sheets popped up with a guy on third. I'm sure he wishes he had that at bat back, but, I don't know. It was what it was. I thought Swanson had a lot to do with the reason they didn't score.
I thought Ryan had the best of the lefties at bats against the lefties. He hit the rocket. He hit that kind of jam shot that Dansby makes a nice play on. I mean, in a perfect world, maybe knowing what we know now, right? Maybe Manny tags there and forces a play there, but he played it the right way, and he gave his guy another shot. And then Gavin doesn't, pitch the weak pop up. That doesn't end up getting the job done. And, with Bogey, when he got to third, there's a couple of things that are on my mind in that particular situation. On that grounder, the foot's got to be a factor. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a broken foot. That play is going to be. It's not going to be a collision, but that foot isn't going to be, scot-free at that point. He's going to have to slide, and you wonder if that plays a part in it. And then maybe it also wasn't contact play, obviously, and you wonder if that played a part in them not wanting to go contact there with Bogey at third.
Well, is it smart to go contact with no outs? Because, if you go contact and the ball's right at him, you're out by 20 feet. And then you blow the whole rally. So
it's not. That's why I say he played it the right way. No contact. But later on, you wonder if that's even in the cards with the foot being still broken. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of plays a part. But ultimately, none of that matters. At the end of the day, they didn't get those opportunities done.
Didn't get them in. Yeah, you're right, Tony. And that's 2 runs, and that was the ultimate difference in the game. And two runs. They lost by 2 runs. They didn't get those runs in. Look at the Cleveland-Detroit game. Cleveland had the tying run at third with no outs on the bottom of the 9th. Could not get that run in. They lost. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. Kind of what's deciding these games here. You're not getting many chances. When you get one, you got to score. And Cleveland lost because of it, and maybe the Padres did too.
Yeah, these things all look different when the idea there's no win-loss record involved. There's no making the playoffs involved. It's just win the game.
Yeah.
And so when you don't do the things that are necessary, in this case is getting a runner in from third, less than 2. you jeopardize your opportunity to win game one, and that's the way it fell today. So they'll have to regroup quickly. And listen, if one thing I know about this group, they do that very well. They are very quick to turn the page, almost like the day before it didn't happen. And so they'll need to lean on that here. The Cubs going with a bullpen day. Kittredge is going to start that game tomorrow.
Yep.
And that I think in my opinion, presents the Padres with an opportunity here. You get a opener basically for this ball game. You saw him in this game today, and you go to work. I think.
Well, we'll see. I think they're going to hope he gets Tatis and Machado out in the first inning. They haven't announced anything, but I would assume Managa would come in after that because the Padres have so many lefties there. And, I know that Schilt has been loath all year to put three lefties together in his order, but because of the injury to Laureano, we talked about it yesterday, something they kind of had to do. And, they went 0 for 9 today, those three guys. And so that's when I revert back to we got to get something from Fernando, got to get something from Manny, and they went 0 for 7. So, everywhere you look, it's a 3-1 win. Pivetta was incredible with the 9 Ks. His fastball was exploding in the zone. You're right. He left the one thigh high to Suzuki. Kelly hit a high fastball. Kelly was just a good hit with that all day, and he just did it. I got to tip my cap to that home run.
I bet you if Pivetta goes back to those same spots, he's not hitting that pitch.
Yeah.
He was ready on that pitch, and he got it.
Yeah.
And I think you tip your cap to that one. That made it 2-0, 2-1 at that point.
Yeah. All right. Padres go down a game, and now, they have to do something that they did in 1990. They did it in 1990, though, in front of no fans at Petco Park. I mean, 1990.
What?
2020. Oh, my God.
Only 30 years off.
I was wrecking I was panicked for a second. I was like, did I miss something?
1990 was a great year for the Padres, Tony. You didn't know. Yeah, 2020. Oh, my goodness gracious.
They didn't even have a 2. There's no 2 in there at any point.
No, there's no reason to make that kind of
Chris
mistake.
is going to start talking about
just another senior moment.
Chris is going to talk about Steve Garvey like we're recapping that game.
Wish we had the Garv today. We could have used him out there. What can I tell you? Let's get this negativity out of the way as well. Bob Nightingale tweeting that the Padres have scored 1 run in their last 33 playoff innings. Yes, we know.
Bob Nightingale loves that low-hanging tweet fruit.
That was a low-hanging tweet fruit, but he got it in.
Low-hanging tweet fruit is a weird phrase.
That was kind of weird, too. It would have made sense in 1990. Cubs win it 3-1. Game 2's tomorrow. We got a viewing party. We'll tell you all about that. We're going to get together in force tomorrow and help get this series even. Tony and I
need it.
Yes, we do. Tony and I back with some more here as Gwynn and Chris is underway on 97.3 The Fan.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system. And
Skraby, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be better off. You'd be better off admitting that you wear your underwear inside out. Frankly,
this guy is just searching up people's accounts.
It only happened that one time because I got caught.
Oh,
how did you get caught?
The account was flagged, and anybody taking a look at it gets logged. And so I got called into the boss's office like 3 days later.
What did that come? I'm sorry, I gotta ask, but nobody's supposed to be doing this preview. What did that conversation? How did it go?
Well, why were you looking up Paris Hilton? Is that who it was?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my!
I can neither confirm. That's really funny, Chris, that you just yelled out that name out of all names. No, but I walked in. I got called into the office, and I sat down. And all my boss. I loved her. She was great. Her name was Sharon. Amazing boss. She just slid the piece of paper in front of me.
You knew.
Said, "Did you visit this account?" And I looked. Yeah. She was like, "We're gonna have to write you up for this, and if you do it again, we're gonna have to fire you." And I said, "I'll never do it again." And I got out of there as soon as possible. I took everything, but it was not good. Not good.
Just curiosity, huh? He's like, I wonder how much they have in their account.
Yeah. I mean, before I got caught, I did look up athletes. And,
oh my God! I'm so glad you're sitting in this seat now.
Yes, I'm so happy you're not doing any job that can be dangerous to people's futures.
This was in the first year that I was there. I learned my lesson thoroughly.
Chris, as I said, as soon as they walked in, they was like,
yeah,
that's our guy right there.
That's our window.
We're gonna take him down.
Yep.
Just lucky I didn't get caught for like. I can't even say. I'll tell you guys off break whose account I saw and how much money they had sitting in their checking account.
And this was how long ago, too, by the way?
2009, 10. Way before I became a good person.
Didn't Bank America end up getting in trouble? Or was that it was one of those banks got in trouble?
All of them get in trouble for selling information. But
hiring folks like you.
I wasn't selling any information. I was just wanting to see what was going on.
Curious.
I didn't check their account activity, which I could have. Been like, oh, they bought this here. I'm going to go up there. You know, I'm not that creepy.
Well, that's stock.
Oh, yeah, you're not that bad.
Not that creepy.
This is amazing, by the way. We're supposed to be doing.
How are we supposed to do baseball picks under these
I don't think we can
circumstances?
anymore. I think we gotta push it. You guys never did it? Well, I mean,
no, Skraby, we didn't.
Really? Okay. Like you work at a bank, you're looking at people's account information?
That's
unbelievable.
It only happened for a little bit, and then I got
only for a little bit.
I can't stop laughing at this because it is quite hilarious, Skraby.
But you were saying that I may have gotten robbed or whatever. I actually did get robbed when I worked in San Francisco, and they're called quick change artists.
How long did you work in the banking industry?
8 years. I was a teller supervisor when I finished. I was also the merchant teller, which took in around $150,000 in cash a day. Guess what? Always balanced at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a guy who walked in. He had about $5,000 in hundreds, and he handed it to me. He said, "Can I get 50s for these?" And I said, you know, it's pretty annoying that he wants
$5,000 in hundreds.
In hundreds, and he wanted $5,000 in 50s. He just wanted 50s instead of hundreds. So I had to go get it from the vault. I come back. I'm starting to count it out, and then he's like starting to ask me questions as I'm counting it out.
He's trying to
what
did I tell you, Chris? This is what I'm talking about.
That window right there.
Hey, this guy was so good that no one saw it coming. But so when I started getting mad at him because I counted out the 50s, he goes, "What are you doing?" I asked for 20s. And I'm like, what? You did not ask for 20s. You asked for 50s, bro. Yeah. I had to go to the vault to get those 50s. And as I was getting all mad and talking to my boss, he took the cash off the counter and put it into this folder that he had on the
addition. 3-1 Cubs. It has been difficult to score runs today. I don't know if anyone's noticed in the playoffs. Detroit beat Cleveland 2-1. Yankees and Boston are in the bottom of the fourth at Yankee Stadium. 1-0 Yankees. Anthony Volpe, probably criticized as much in New York as Xander Bogaerts has been criticized here. Home run for New York. So Max Fried has the lead over Garrett Crochet. Later, Dodgers and Reds. For some reason, though, when you lose your game, as the Padres did today, I just don't really care about the other ones. I don't have any interest. It's like, let them do what they do. Now, if I win, then I'm, a little more interested in what else is happening out there. But
I feel that.
Yeah, right now it's, pull it together. We'll wallow the rest of today, and then get up tomorrow. It's a new day, and we'll see you out there for the 97.3 The Fan viewing party. Ben and Woods, the Braden Soprenin Show, our show, Gwynn and Chris. I know both Skraby and I will be there. Postseason watch party. It's at Park 101. That's in Carlsbad. The game starts at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Of course, San Diego, Chicago, and Park 101, bi-level, sports bar, rooftop deck, huge TV screens, North County's best barbecue, craft cocktails, and we are also giving away 3 autographed baseballs and a Padre jersey signed by Xander Bogaerts. All of that will be given away during our viewing party tomorrow. The whole thing is presented by Estrella Jalisco Light Mexican Lager. That's tomorrow, Park 101. It's located right there in the Carlsbad Village at 3040 Carlsbad Boulevard. So make sure you join us, and we'll all get it together tomorrow and give the boys a boost, Tony, as it were. A couple of things I noticed, Tony, wanted to run past you today, and I'm not trying to dig and, find something here. I'm just trying to point something out, and because I don't think at this point of the season you change what you've been doing. Like, I think that's silly, especially with one game. You don't really have time to make a change. But I thought one thing the Cubs did today, and I don't know if it was by design, maybe it just was because they were pitching really well. 25 of the 32 batters that the Cubs faced today, 25 of them got first pitch strikes. That is a very impressive percentage. And I'm thinking, look, we know the Padres like to work the count. I'm not going to say take a lot of pitches necessarily, but drive the pitch count up. Did the Cubs say, if you want to wait, you're going to be behind in the count? Or did it just work out that way today, Tony? Because I give the Cubs all the credit. You still got to throw those first pitch strikes.
Yeah, I mean, some of that is they're swinging first pitch strikes. I mean,
right, some of them swing.
Offs.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I don't know that it's that much of a mark. It was the Padres didn't come off passive to me. It's not like they were taking a bunch of first pitch strikes. But they didn't square it up enough. I mean, they had 4 hits on the day. Yeah, 4 hits on the day, and that 2 of those came from Xander himself. So
I only think one of them was on a first pitch. I think Jackson's was a first pitch.
Jackson's first pitch first pitch slider.
Yeah,
he hit down that right field line.
Yeah, everything else was later in the count. Padres
swung.
Go ahead.
And he also swung first pitch his last at bat too, where he almost went deep to center.
Yeah, he hit that ball. Like I said, they hit a lot of deep fly balls today. For what it's worth, wind blowing in. Like I said, I think it affected the Padres actually more than the Cubs. Padres also had 13 flyouts today, Tony. I don't know if that's
real quick.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
I don't think you should skate by that. I mean, the Padres they were 28th in homers, right?
Right. So why are they hitting fly balls? Yeah.
Logic would say they're not as good with the ball in the air. They're better with the ball on the line. And, Xander, they got their 1 run on 2 balls basically on the line. Now listen, easier said than done. And, that I'm sure all of them are trying to do that. But, that is the job, the task at hand. And you saw really, either team. I mean, the Cubs had a few more of those line drive type balls. They hit the 1 ball in the air that got out, and they hit the line drive that got out. I think Swanson had a line drive single. Horner had a couple ground ball singles. So, I mean, both teams have similar characteristics, but the Cubs got a little more bop, in their lineup. And that kind of reigned big when you consider the Padres didn't, execute on their end.
Yeah. Maybe something to keep an eye on tomorrow. I don't know that it, changes everything, but, 13 fly balls did seem like quite a few for the Padres, the way they normally attack. And we'll see. Can the Cubs throw that many first pitch strikes again tomorrow?
By the way, these balls in the air aren't like, aren't like hit softly. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
They weren't Jackson's was hit 100. I think I'd qualify Sheets as a line drive that just kind of got caught up in the wind. He kind of hit it a little too high, but I'd say for the most that was a line drive.
Yeah,
but
Manny gets actually called for a fly ball on his line drive to caught by the third baseman in the first inning. That was hardly a fly ball. So.
Yeah, no, that's a line drive.
Yeah, I would say that was a line drive.
That was a line drive.
All right, so here's something I wrote. My notes in the scorecard are going to be coming up a little later here. And that's where I go through and I share everything I wrote down during the game and kind of take everybody through the game. But I'm going to give you here's an unfortunate preview of the notes on a scorecard today, Tony. Padres led 1-0, bottom of the 5th inning. And as the Cubs came to the plate, the shadows creeped out in front of home plate to where they were between the pitcher and home plate. You know, that big shadow from the rim of the stadium. And the TV broadcaster mentioned it. I noticed it. I wrote down, are the Cubs going to be able to see the ball well now that the shadows are over home plate? I barely wrote that before home run.
Yep.
That's just crazy. Because that you wouldn't think that's the time they would hit the home runs right then.
You know what's funny is they did, right? And then the shadow settled over a little bit more, and then you got punch out, punch out. And then you go to the next inning, the Padres top six, they go punch out.
Yeah.
Before Bogarts lined out to center field to end that inning.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we noticed it, we saw it, but for whatever reason,
somehow the first two hitters with the shadows hit home runs.
They were able to see just fine.
Unbelievable.
And they got the 2 homers, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the shadows are tough. I mean, and then honestly, later in the game, Mason Miller was wiping out the order in the 7th inning, and I was thinking, I wish he would take his time, maybe get one guy on base so that the shadows will go away when the Padres come to bat next inning.
I thought the same thing, Chris.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
He got
I saw
the guy
it
out
creeping
too quick.
I saw it creeping, and I was like, just stay out there.
The darn shadows, and that's part of it in day baseball in the playoffs. You just got to find a way to deal with it.
I got to say that the sun looked brutal in the beginning of the game.
It did seem
it's
like
always brutal. It's always brutal. It settles right, like there's not even like an angle. It just comes like straight down, like right on center field.
Yeah, it seemed like it might have been hard to see out there, just from my perspective on television. But it seemed that way. They
made all the plays. They don't anybody.
Everybody made
drop
the
one.
plays.
So they saw it well enough.
All right, Tony. Before you roll, I know you got to get out and get ready. But
Jackson, he's going to get pizza. Come on, Chris. That's what you wanted to say.
Well, all right. I want him to send me some. I'm sending him to get some pizza and send it out. Before you go, Jackson Merrill's bunt. It's kind of the big topic. People are being critical of Mike Schilt because of the bunt culture again.
It's Mike Schilt's fault.
It's Mike Schilt's fault because of the bunt culture.
I hate to tell people.
I'm telling you what I'm hearing and reading.
I hate to tell people you're gonna have to be mad at Jackson if that's what if it bothers you.
Okay.
It's his decision. No one's making him bunt. He has the full right to swing the bat there if he wants. He decided to bunt. So, if you're upset about it, direct it at who is supposed to be directed at. He'll answer the question, I promise you. He'll have no problem answering it.
Couple of things about the bunt, because it's about the only decision that was made today that I think anybody can find some fault with.
We have to find something,
right,
Chris.
So everybody's focused on it. But after the bunt, they did mount what really became a rally. They had first and third. They did not score out of that. If that inning turns into 2 or 3 runs, you might say that the bunt was successful. The other thing I will tell you, the Tigers beat the Indians today, or the Guardians today, on a bunt. In the 7th inning, a squeeze got the winning run home. I don't hate bunts. I wish my cleanup hitter didn't do it. But look, they ended up getting a rally out of that. That part wasn't Jackson's fault. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I understand why people, are irritated with it. He's hitting in the cleanup spot. I mean, it would completely change if he wasn't hitting the cleanup spot, which, is a whole nother thing. But it's ultimately his decision. Like in the same way as if he decided to swing away and the masses were saying he should have bunted, it still would be his decision. This is not a Mike Schilt thing, signaling down to Tim Leeper over there and telling him to bunt. Like it's his decision. He's making that decision.
And there you have the one decision that you guys can be second guessing tonight, if you wish.
I think it's okay to second guess, but just make sure you're directing it at who is supposed to be directed at.
Or just write Chris LOSD, tweet me on it, and I'll take some blame.
I've
been in favor.
That was not a smart move.
I know. I've been in favor of the bunt culture, so there you go. You can blame me. All right, 3-1 Cubs win. We got the notes on a scorecard. We have
Sammy Lev at 5 p.m.
Sam 11 at 5 o'clock. We'll get his thoughts from Chicago. He's there, of course, and he was there at Wrigley Field. And also, by the Dolphins won. That ought to make maybe me happy. That's about it.
Wide receiver. I had to turn the channel. I couldn't look at it.
I couldn't tell if Tyreek was happy that he got hurt or
I've never seen a guy so happy to be carted off the field.
I think he was just kind of shocked, honestly.
That is him hiding the
pain
and hurt that he has, knowing he's about to miss the whole season.
Yes, he is. All right, we'll take a break. Gwynn and Chris returns afterwards.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
I would like to hear Woods sing Bohemian.
against the Ivy. Merrill scores easily. Bogart's into second base. Now the throw kicks away, and Xander going to try for third and get there. So back-to-back doubles plus an error, and the Padres a 1-0 lead.
They crack things open here early.
Yeah.
I was feeling so much better then.
Yeah, but you knew once they didn't go 2-0 that trouble was on the horizon.
I knew it. I knew
Yeah.
that was going to come back to get them.
It did come back to haunt them. They did not get that run in. They did not get the run in the fifth inning as well, or fourth inning. First and third, one out. Dansby Swanson was the unsung hero for the Cubs. He made two plays that, in my mind, took away two runs. And what did the Cubs win by? Two. It's, this
is playoff baseball.
It is. All that stuff matters. All right. Gwynn and Chris Skraby alongside Tony in Chicago. Sam Levitt is going to join us from Chicago at the top of the hour. We'll get his thoughts on game one. If you just tuned in, yes, it is Dylan Cease tomorrow. For the Cubs, at least an opener. I don't know if it's a bullpen day or what. Right-hander Andrew Kittredge, who pitched the eighth inning today and retired, among others, Fernando and Arise, will face Fernando and Arise again tomorrow to lead off the game, because Kittredge is the opener for the Cubs tomorrow. Whether that means Imanaga comes in for 4 or 5 innings after, whether that means they go bullpen day all day, I can only say one thing about it. I hope it just blows up in their face. I really do. Baseball, I know.
Losing his mind in the back room.
I am. All these analytic people, I know you all think you're taking over the sport, and more power to you. And Craig Counsell's taking his pitcher out today, the second time through the order after 4 innings, etc. And it could not have worked better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of the analytic stuff, it seems to work. I just wish it wouldn't. I wish one time, right, somebody would put all of these analytics to use and would just blow completely up. Like tomorrow would be a good time for it.
That'd be perfect.
Padres score like 7 in the first inning, and it doesn't matter who their opener was.
How many times have they done this wild card thing? I know that no team.
This is the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th series.
Can we stop referencing this stat like it's been 100 years of playoff baseball?
No,
it's been a couple of years.
We can only stop referencing it once somebody does it. And hopefully, again,
it would
that'll
be like
the Padres.
No team has. It's the third series of the wild card. No team has never come back.
Well,
from
but
game
they're not
one.
doing that. It's been 12
it's
series.
Been 3 years.
It's been 12 series. It's happened all 12 times.
It doesn't scare me, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, here's what maybe could scare you: 10 of the 12 have turned into 2-game sweeps.
Okay, that does scare me.
Okay, so only 2 of them have even gone to a third game, let alone win the series. And obviously, everybody says correctly the Padres have to win 2 games. But guess what? They got to win 1 first.
Yes, they do.
So that's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll be watching the game with all of you at Park 101 in Carlsbad, our 97.3 The Fan viewing party. All right, let's check traffic. And then my wife's shopping list and today's notes on the scorecard.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Got a crash on southbound 163 right at the South 805 connector ramp. Couple vehicles involved there over to the right shoulder. Southbound side of the 805 past Market Street. Stalled work truck in the HOV lane. And westbound 78 before Emerald. Collision over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
What did Chris like? What does Chris want to clean up? Observations written on a grocery list. Notes on a scorecard starts now.
All right, we don't have a big 5 today, but if we did, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. I wish the notes on the scorecard could inspire today. Unfortunately, it's going to be going back through a game that we know the outcome of.
I feel like this music is too happy for what happened today.
Yeah, it's the little.
It's very baseball-y, but it makes you feel like they won, and they didn't.
They didn't. First thing I wrote, ESPN's play-by-play announcer today was named Kevin Brown. Thought that could help.
Oh, that was the Orioles guy, right?
I don't know what team he normally does.
I think he does the Orioles. He got fired, or he didn't get fired. He got put on leave for saying something on a broadcast. He was pointing out. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway, Kevin Brown, the great Padre pitcher from 98. So I thought maybe that would help. So happy in the first inning to see Fernando come up first and reacquaint myself with the stupid as hell Strauss medical logo on the side of the helmets in the playoffs.
I don't think it's a medical company.
You don't? I don't know what it is.
It's a clothing company.
I hate it. How much money do you need? You guys already make billions of dollars. This eyesore, we're going to have to look at this for the rest of time in the history of playoffs moving forward, evidently. I hate it.
Yeah, they have a long deal with them.
It was last year, I think it started.
It did.
And here it is again. And I had forgotten about it. So really happy to, be reacquainted.
You'll be happy to know that in MLB The Show, when you get to the playoffs, they put those on your helmet.
No way, really?
Yes, they do.
Remind me never to make the playoffs then. Bottom of the first inning, first batter. I mean, come on. What are you worried about as a Padre fan? That the first batter is going to hit a home run. It's been happening all month. Well, Michael Busch almost did. I think Jackson went back to the ivy to catch it.
That was scary.
And my first thought was, oh, thank goodness the wind is blowing in. But you know what? That was about the only ball the Cubs hit all day where that mattered. And I thought the Padres ended up having 3 or 4 balls hung up in the wind today. So I think the wind blowing in eventually helped Chicago. Just as a little aside, I liked the little moment where they showed Boyd's press conference yesterday when he got choked up about, talking about how far he'd come in his life and in his career to start a playoff game.
I saw that, and I was in pure.
You were like
Padres
was
mode.
it
I was like, "What a baby!"
Yeah,
he got the last laugh.
Yeah,
and of course, I wasn't serious, people.
Yeah, I appreciate a guy, really understanding how lucky he was to be in that spot.
Very true.
Merrill's double. And then Bogaerts came up here. And I thought, okay, here's the first moment of the game. And is Bogaerts going to be able to move him to third base? Situational hitting, hit the ball to the right side. But Bogaerts outsmarted Matthew Boyd here. And what happened was Boyd pitched him inside, way inside. Well, it's hard to hit those pitches the other way. But with 2 strikes, Bogaerts just said, you know what? He's probably going to come inside again. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it. Now, Boyd didn't make a great pitch. He left it out over the plate a little bit. But my thinking was that Xander was ready to attack and pull that baseball because that's what he was being given. And he doubled, and we had a lead. And we got the extra base. And then O'Hearn came up, and Swanson made I thought, a great play. We already talked about it with Tony, why Bogaerts would not be going on a contact there with no outs. You don't want to get thrown out by 25 feet at home. Also, maybe Xander's broken, bone has something to do with that. At least Tony thought it might. The real, bat you'd like to have back was Sheets with just a weak pop up to third base.
I know.
And Jake with an easy ground out, and now 1-0 instead of 2-0. And you knew that was gonna kill us.
We've seen it all year
long. Merrill makes a nice play early in the second, keeps Suzuki off. Chase down a
that was
pop
a really
up in
nice
short
play.
left center field. Pivetta strikes out Kelly there with the high fastball, and then same thing for PCA before he threw him one of those nasty curves. PCA must have missed it by 25 feet.
He did.
And Pivetta looks so good. I wasn't thinking we're going to win 1-0. I really wanted a couple more runs, but I thought we could win 1-0 because Pivetta was looking that good. He had 5 Ks the first time through the order. And the Padres led 1-0 through 3. Manny gets the lead walk. Merrill bunts. We already talked about that. I didn't even understand why they pitched to Bogarts there. Runner at second, nobody out, or one out. You got 3 lefties waiting on deck, 6, 7, and 8. Why even give Bogarts a pitch to hit? The Cubs did. Sure, their analytics told them to do it. Anyway, Bogart beat out the infield hit. You got first and third. But unfortunately, it was then lefty, lefty, lefty. And I had the worst feeling that was going to haunt us today. And it did, although it's hard to blame O'Hearn. He muscled the ball to center field. I thought he had a hit.
Yeah.
And, good work by Swanson again to go back and catch it. Could Manny have tagged up there? I think Fernando could have tagged up there. I don't think Manny could have tagged up there. Bottom of the 4th inning, I wrote this because I love this about the playoffs. Padres are leading 1-0. There's nobody on base. Ian Happ's up, and the count goes to 3-1. And the crowd goes crazy, rises in their feet, cheering. And I'm like, yeah, that's playoffs.
Yeah.
When 3 balls is a rally.
Yes.
It was. Cubs fans got up. He ended up striking out the whole thing. But I just love that stuff. Boyd comes out in the 4th inning, or the 5th inning after Fermin's 1-out single. And, again, how can I dispute it? They obviously decided before the game ever started that no matter what Boyd did, he was not facing Fernando and the rest of the lineup a third time.
They already had him warming up.
They already knew
pitching well.
They already knew it.
Yeah.
And he knew it. And out he came in 4 1/3 innings, and I thought, please let this blow up in their face. I hate this analytics stuff. And we know it didn't blow up in their face, Skrabe. They faced 14 batters out of the bullpen. They
did.
They got them all out. All right, so that gets to the bottom of the 5th, the fateful bottom of the 5th. And, I write down, can the Cubs see the ball well in the shadows?
Yes.
Suzuki evidently could see it.
Yeah.
Thigh-high fastball. Probably the only mistake Pivetta made all day. Then the second home run by Kelly, letter-high fastball they'd been striking everybody out on all day. Kelly got to it and hit it through that wind. The guy must lift a bunch of weights because that's a strong guy to hit that ball on the wind blowing in on that high of a trajectory.
Tony was talking about this during the game, because Pivetta was throwing a ton of fastballs because the Cubs are not
like
a good
80%.
fastball. Yeah. Do you think maybe possibly he threw too many fastballs?
No.
Okay.
I think you got to go with what's working. I can't second guess, the Kelly one. The Suzuki one was just where he didn't want it there. Then top of the 6th, the shadows are still there. And as Tony and I discussed, Manny and Merrill couldn't have hit the Palencia thing with a broom.
Yeah.
I mean, those things were just by those guys, unfortunately. Bottom of the 6th, Morejon comes in, and I'm thinking, man, the game's going to get away here. Get single, but you got the double play, 5-4-3. And then Morejon got out of the inning with 2 outs, runner at third. A lot of times after a double play, pitcher will think I'm kind of out of the woods. You got to bear down to get that third out. He did. He got Tucker to keep it 2-1. In the 7th inning, again, and I brought this up last week, Padres had 6, 7, 8, lefty, lefty, lefty. I didn't need to see that Pomeranz was coming in. I knew Pomeranz was coming in. And I know O'Hearn and Sheets and Jake, they didn't hit, they all hit the ball okay, but all flied out. That's just Pomeranz going to face those guys again tomorrow. I guarantee you. You put them 6, 7, 8 again, he'll come in and face them again. And it's tough. You're asking those guys to, come up with a hit against one of the really hard, tough lefties out there. So now you're to the 8th inning, and that's even after Miller strikes out the side in the 7th too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Both Skraby and I are yelling at the TV, take your time so the shadow goes away.
Although, can you imagine trying to hit a 103-mile-an-hour fastball with shadows?
Did the Cub hitters look like they had no hope there?
They had no hope.
No hope.
They were just swinging just to try to make contact.
Chance. And those are major league guys. They just couldn't have ever done it. Kittredge came in the 8th. As I said, you're going to see him again tomorrow to start. I'm not thrilled with that Fernando at bat. I'm just not. I'm not trying to criticize one at bat in a game, but one out, one on. I know he's walked and done better at that. I just can't have him taking strike 3 there. He's my best playoff guy. And anyway, it's easy for me to say I'm sitting up here, watching the game, but
the shadows.
2-2 pitch. It was, letter high. It was a strike, though.
Yeah.
There's no arguing it. Arise hit the ball well with 2 outs, but, ball again hung up there in center field. That win, now we're to the 9th inning. But that's only after the ice-cold Estrada comes in the bottom of the 8th. And I know
very nervous about this.
I was too, but he's on your team. He's been there all year. You have to, hope he gets out of things. And they did sacrifice there. And then the wild pitch is what really hurt you.
Yeah, it did.
And they get another run. By the way, Horner came up with 2 on in that inning. Horner hit 371 with runners in scoring position this year. Only Bo Bichette was better.
Wow.
But you got the fly ball, but it was a sacrifice fly. And I got to give, again, Estrada, after the wild pitch, you now have second and third. I know he didn't want to, but I think you got to throw the splitter again. You need a strikeout there. You can't let the guy hit a fly ball to center field and get another run home. But he didn't have confidence in it because he just bounced one.
Yeah.
Horner knew it. So here comes a fastball, and he just hit the fly ball.
Yeah.
That's good, smart hitting by Horner. Anyway, 9th inning. It wasn't anything. We didn't do anything. I mean, we had the brief controversy there with Xander.
I was like, it's a ball.
I didn't get that. He stepped off. Xander stepped out. Then he stepped on and tried to throw a pitch. They called a strike against Xander, right?
In the beginning.
And then
saying that he wasn't
out.
Ready.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like a negotiated, he'll take his time out.
They kind of negotiated that. Yeah. I don't think he ever took his time out, but they said he did.
Yeah.
So they started the count over again. Unfortunately, I wrote here only, excuse me.
Uh-oh. He
I
wrote
almost
something.
made it.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm good. I wrote here, only delaying the inevitable, unfortunately. The 2-2 pitch, by the way, to Bogarts, that was an all-time example of an emergency swing to foul that ball away.
Yes.
And I thought, wouldn't it be cool now if he singled and the next guy homered and we could say that saved the day?
Yeah.
It didn't save the day.
Whenever I'm really positive and I'm like, they could do this, they're going to tie it up.
You have no choice but to stay positive, right?
And then you see a strikeout looking.
And it was a strike.
It was a good pitch.
It's a great pitch right there on the corner. Sam Levitt joins us from Chi-Town. We'll get his thoughts. There's our notes on a scorecard for a sad day. 3-1 Cubs. They take the lead in the series. Padres will look to even it up tomorrow. And we'll come back with our second hour on Gwynn and Chris. All right, happy hour time, although there's not a whole lot to be happy about. I get it. Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports talk station, home of the team that is down 1-0 in the best-of-3 wild card series. If you're just tuned in on your way home, you missed the game today because you just had to work. Good for you. You didn't miss a whole lot.
You missed a very stressful game.
It was stressful and just kind of disappointing. It really was. Padres offense completely shut down. I mean, that's the only way to say it. Last 14 guys went out in order.
I think you're making a very good point, though, in the break by saying Guardians and Tigers only scored 3 runs. Padres, Cubs only scored 4 runs total. And right now, in the top of the 7th, it's Yankees 1, Boston nothing.
Yeah, it's hard to score. It's hard to score, and that's why when you get a guy to third with no outs, you gotta find a way.
You have to.
Yeah, and the Padres didn't do it, and the Guardians didn't do it in the bottom of the 9th. Lost to the Tigers today, 2-1. I mean, I'm not doing the Cleveland notes on a scorecard, but I guarantee you, bottom of the 9th, down by a run, and you don't get the guy in, that's going to keep you up all night.
Yeah.
As is trying to hit Tariq Skubal, who had, I think, 14 strikeouts today.
That was insane.
For the Tigers.
It's kind of crazy because, like, the Guardians were on fire coming into the playoffs.
Does not matter.
And the Tigers were not, and it still is yet to be seen who wins the series, but
yeah, it's
baseball.
Early. It's early. Red Sox trying to get something going now that the Yankees have taken Max Fried out of the game. Fried went 6, left with a 1-0 lead, and Boston now putting a couple of runners on here, 2nd and 3rd, with 1 out in the top of the 7th against reliever Luke Weaver. Anthony Volpe is responsible for the only run so far, a home run. Sam Levitt in Chicago. He's presented by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. If you are facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro and his team. They're helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And here he is, the hardest working guy in radio.
Really is.
The one and only Sam Levitt. With the Padres down a game in the best-of-3. Sam, give me just a feel. Leaving Wrigley Field today. I don't know if you saw any players, talked to anybody, got any clubhouse time, but where do they go? I mean, the disappointment and, obviously trying to shake it off for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I was on the air, so I didn't get a chance to go in the clubhouse post game and kind of hear. I've heard after the fact of some of the things that the guys had to say. Look, I think two things can be true at once. Obviously, you didn't want to lose game one. Nick Pivetta pitched well enough for the Padres to win the game. The bullpen did the same. And it's just a hard formula to win if you're going to score 1 run on 4 hits and have as many missed opportunities as they did today. With that said, the other side of the equation is that all you need to do is win 2 games. And I heard Gavin Sheets say it after the game. The mission hasn't changed in the sense that you always needed to win 2 games to win this series. And so for the Padres, it's going to have to be the final 2. I don't think you want to be down by a game, but obviously a lot falls on Dylan Cease tomorrow. And I think more so just falls on the offense. Look, they can't afford to have another game like they did today. Forget opportunities, forget, runners on third base, less than 2 outs. I mean, just bottom line, they've got to score more than 1 run to I think compete with this good Cubs team and a good Cubs lineup. So, 2 things can be true at once. It didn't go their way today. You didn't want to be behind by a game, but the mission has not changed. You had to win 2 this whole time, and they'll have to do it now with their backs against the wall tomorrow.
Sam Levitt's in Chicago. Tony and I discussed this, Sam. Don't know if it was something that caught your eye today, but Padres had 13 flyouts. Almost half their outs were made in the air. The wind was blowing in today. I thought that hurt the Padres a few times. I thought they had some balls hard that kind of just hung up, and PCA was able to track them down and, right and left center field. But the Padres are not, a home run hitting team necessarily. I think tomorrow, if you can focus on it or think about it, but low and hard, I think will serve them better.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, they have not been a home run hitting team all year. I mean, they've been in the bottom third of home runs, by team rankings all year. The Cubs have been a home run hitting team on the contrary. And, look, I do think today was a good example. If you don't hit home runs and you are going to be committed to playing small ball, which is what they've done a lot. I mean, look, people can get upset, and I understand, Jackson Merrill laying down the bunt, is going to draw a lot of attention in the 4th inning, but I look beyond that. I mean, I don't really focus on the bunt itself. The bottom line is, when you play that style of baseball, you just can't afford to miss the opportunities then or have good situational hitting.
Yeah.
When you have a runner on third base in less than 2 outs, and they had 3 opportunities between the 2nd and the 4th inning where they did not get that runner home. So I don't focus on the bunt as much as I focus on just the lack of execution, because, if you're sitting there today surprised that they were playing small ball, then I feel like you haven't been watching this team. I mean, that is how they've played, and like it or don't like it, that seems to be the way they want to play. And, if you're going to play that way, they just can't have happen what happened today, which was missed opportunities to execute when they had nice opportunities to drive in runs and build on a lead. And what it means on the flip side, Chris, is that, unfortunately, if you only score 1 run and you miss those opportunities, just puts a ton of pressure on your pitching. And Nick Pivetta can't afford to have a stumble for a couple of batters. Jeremiah Estrada can't afford to bounce one. Freddie Fermin can't afford to not keep it in front of him. Those are the little things that, you're going to have to, you're living with a very small margin for error if your offense does not score a lot. And I feel like that's what we saw today in a number of respects.
Sammy, we'll let you roll here. Just your quick thought on what you think the Cubs may do after Andrew Kittredge. I'm hoping that he gives up about 7 runs, and it doesn't really matter what they do, but I'm sure Craig Counsell has something in mind. I would think it's got to include Imanaga, but, I don't know. I'm sure some people are trying to, figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I do wonder how the game goes, if that dictates what they do. If they have a lead, do they go to Imanaga, or do they have it in their head that maybe they could push him to game 3 if they need him? It would make sense to me in the sense of, Kittredge, if, I'm just thinking along with how Craig Counsell would be thinking about it. Kittredge faces the top of the order. Maybe he can even go to right. And then you have that lane towards the bottom, or, not even 2, but get a couple, get some outs in that 2nd inning. And then you have a lane unless the Padres tinker with their lineup, you have a lane of 3 lefties in a row with O'Hearn, Sheets, and Cronenworth, which kind of would fit into, sliding Imanaga in and letting him work. So I think it's going to be interesting. I would assume there's a high likelihood Imanaga is part of the equation, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, if the Cubs have a lead, maybe they start thinking they can piece it together without him and keep them ready for a potential game 3 if they have to play that. So I'm not totally sure, but I will say this just to build on your question about the lefty, and look, I don't anticipate the Padres are going to make a change to their lineup tomorrow. That wouldn't fall in line with how things normally go. With Mike Schultz and making kind of very quick changes to what they believe in. And I'm not saying they should make a change, but I will say I thought it was evident today. You do have that trio of lefties in the 6, 7, 8 spots. And that's a really easy lane to attack just from a strategy standpoint. We saw it today. Yeah. There was an inning late in the game where it was those 3 guys due up. They went to Drew Pomerantz and he retired beside an order, and Pomerantz was out. So, that is one of the dangers of having that lane at the bottom for a lefty. It's just very straightforward from a strategy standpoint. And, we can talk about the top of the lineup taking over, but it also didn't help that the 6, 7, 8 spots, that trio of lefties went 0 for 9. Chris, I heard the very beginning of your show after I got off the air, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not dooming. Look, I think they are fully capable of winning 2 games here, but obviously they are going to just need more from their offense. Forget about the pitching for a second. They are just going to need more from their offense in order to win this series, and I do think that's a fair takeaway from today's game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately, I'm sure some Padre fans not lost on them that today's offense, came on the heels of what happened in the last 2 games to the Dodgers last year.
Sure.
It shouldn't matter to the players, but I know that the fans are thinking it. I know they are.
Yeah, Chris, and you know what? I'm really going to hesitate to get there yet. Let's see how this let's see how this plays out.
That's
for
right.
all we know, they're going to bounce back and rake the next 2 days, and you're moving on, and now you feel like you've got momentum heading to Milwaukee. I can't get there yet after 9 innings. You know what I mean? I can't start making that thread to last year. I think, look, you certainly you can, there are criticisms of today's game that are fair. That one, I think you got to be really careful with after 9 innings of a series. Let's see how it plays out tomorrow. Let's see how it plays out in a hopeful game 3, and we go from there before we start making the, kind of the year-over-year proclamations.
Well, someone should tell it to Bob Nightingale.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't the one who tweeted it out. Bob Nightingale was the one who reminded all of us he had a tweet earlier tonight. All right, Sam, have a good pizza or whatever it is you enjoy tonight in Chi-Town.
Well, you want to know what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Actually.
Of course.
I am. So for those of you who watch the pregame show on YouTube, you may have noticed we had a little internet issue towards the end as the ballpark filled up. You guys have been to enough of these ballparks. You can have internet issues in these ballparks. So I took the red line on the L, and I am currently at Best Buy acquiring this little gadget.
No way.
So I can hopefully plug in to the Ethernet for my laptop tomorrow, so we avoid any issues streaming wise. I'll be honest, and I'm sure Adam is maybe listening right now. I don't know. They have something that I think is going to work, but I'm not 100% sure. But
I thought you were going to say it's a little pricey, Sam. I thought you were going to say it's a little pricey.
No, well, I'll tell you what. The dongle, they call it a dongle,
yes,
is $14, and I think it's worth the risk of.
Oh yeah,
I think that's worth trying to get it, and we'll see what happens. I could always figure out a way to return
I can
it, right?
picture exactly what Sammy's doing right now. I have walked the streets of Riverside, Bakersfield, many cities.
At least he's in Chicago.
Yes, right. At least he's in Chicago. But I've walked many cities looking for a place to buy a piece for my equipment to get on the radio. So I know exactly what's up.
Yeah. Hey,
I get it.
Look, this is not my first time. It's not my first rodeo. I mean, you name a Guitar Center in some minor league town if they had one, and I've been there to get like an XLR cord or something that I needed that, like broke or forgot or so. Yes, I'm used to it. It's not a big deal.
Sam, have a good night, man. Relax, enjoy yourself, and we'll have a more upbeat conversation tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody sleep well, wake up tomorrow, re-energized, ready to go. That's my message.
That's a good message, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Sam Levitt's pregame show gets underway at 11:05 tomorrow. While we were chatting there, the Red Sox have taken the lead over the Yankees.
I got to think that if you're Max Fried, you're a teammate, it's a team sport, but you got to be angry that you threw a gem.
6 1/3 innings. He left with nobody on base, but 102 pitches, and they had to go to their great bullpen, but it didn't work this time. Luke Weaver gave up walk, double, 2-run single to the pinch-hitting Masataka Yoshida.
I would
2-1 Boston, bottom of the 7th.
I would much rather lose with 2 solo shots in the 5th inning than that.
Well, they haven't lost yet, the Yankees, although they're in trouble because Crochet has been mowing them down with 9 strikeouts through 6 innings. We'll take a break. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. We got to at least spend a minute on the Dolphins.
We will before the show ends.
Okay. What are you going to do next?
I don't know.
Well, I thought maybe next we do, but we'll see.
All right.
Come back. We'll all find out together after traffic.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole, nice smooth delivery, hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole, nice smooth delivery, hit it too hard. Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard. Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Much like the Padres did earlier today, at least right now, Red Sox just took a 2-1 lead. Boston's batting in the top of the 8th inning. Garrett Crochet has shut down 16 Yankees in a row since Anthony Volpe homered in the 2nd inning. So, I mean, you talk about doing nothing. The Yankees are doing, similar to Padres. Last 14 of them went down today.
Yep.
Runs have been hard to come by.
And we weren't almost facing Garrett Crochet either.
Yeah, we are almost 3 full games into the playoffs, and so far there's been 10 runs scored combined with all the teams.
I mean, we've been saying this for weeks.
No, it's the way playoff baseball is, but it's also the way it is in Game 1, because what happens in Game 1? Everybody pitches their ace pitcher.
Yep.
Or that's
true.
Most likely. So, anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. Cubs, if you're just tuned in, did beat the Padres 3-1 today. We haven't talked enough about Pivetta.
That is very true.
He really was just electric with that fastball today. And, kudos to him and Fermin. Remember, he's pitching to Fermin for the first time.
Yep. Everything
else has been to Elias Diaz, who's not on this roster because of the injury. And he knew that fastball was electric. Mm-hmm. And he just kept buzzing it by him. He had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. I mean, he pitches 7-8 innings in that game. He ends up with 12, 13 Ks himself. I just got to give those guys for the Cubs credit in the 5th inning. The darn shadows came over home plate, and I'm thought, wow, they can't see now.
Boom.
And home run. I mean, you got to give it a Suzuki. I give more of the mistake variety because the pitch was down about thigh high, and I don't think he wanted it there. Carson Kelly home run, I got to give to Carson Kelly. Now, that was a high fastball. He'd been striking him out on that all day. And, terrific. He hits a high fly ball into the wind. I don't think people thought it was going out. I think when Sheets and Merrill ran back, I thought they felt they'd catch it. Just kept going.
Well, because all of their hits do end up at the warning track.
Yeah, Padres lead the world in warning track fly balls, and they hit 13 fly balls today. I think if you're going to be critical of one thing, that would be it. Got to get the ball, and it's easier said than done.
Yeah, why can't they just hit some grounders?
Yeah, just get line drives and ground balls. And when you hit the ground ball, make sure it's through the hole. Don't hit it at somebody.
Exactly.
Right.
It's super
it's really
easy.
Not that tough. You know what to do.
I've played MLB The Show. I can do it.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Can we talk? Are you done with Pivetta?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this bubbling, and I don't think it's an unfair conversation, but Manny Machado has not really been a big part of a postseason run. And he is not, I think he's 0 for 11 in his last couple postseason games. Like, Manny Machado has to step up tomorrow and do something because he's the star of the team. When the team goes the way Manny goes.
It does seem to be. And 215 lifetime batting average in the playoffs.
I don't know what changes, but he's got to do more.
And, 0 for 3 today. He and Fernando have got to do it. I said it yesterday. The 6, 7, 8 thing with all lefties, they're going to be hard pressed because they're going to be facing tough left-handed pitching. That's not easy. They're going to see Imanaga, I would think, tomorrow. They're certainly going to see Pomeranz again. And it's got to be Manny. It's got to be Fernando. Yeah, it's got to be Manny. It's got to be Fernando. And, Bogarts had his couple hits today. Those are your only 3 real right-handed. And Fermin had a hit. The 4 hits today, 3 of them were by right-handed hitters.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to go. So, yeah, I agree. Look, Manny's going to be the guy, one way or the other, carry it. And he's, for those who say Manny doesn't clutch up, I'll never want to agree with you. But when you struggle in the playoffs, that's what people are going to say.
I mean, this is where, not careers are made.
He's got 11 career postseason home runs. So it's not like he's never done anything. But a 215 average is not Manny-like.
No, not at all.
All right. Still 2-1 Boston. Yankees coming up in the bottom of the 8th. They need to get a base runner is what they need.
Oh, you know what? Bottom of the 8th, Trent Grisham leading off.
Come on, Grish.
Why are we cheering for the Yankees all of a sudden?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that would be. It seems to be kind of a silly thing for us to do. All right, we're going to do a little Daily Gambit in the next segment.
I will allow you
over some of the baseball stuff, but real quick.
To talk Dolphins.
Yeah, your quick thought
on the other side. On the other side.
But all right, we'll get your quick thoughts on Miami. I like the uniforms.
Oh, yeah, the uniforms
and
are
I'm
great.
Usually kind of critical of stuff like that and making changes. I enjoyed those. Thought they were pretty good.
I did too.
Looked good.
They were fully black.
Tough for the broadcasters to pick up the numbers.
Yeah, it was.
On those. Give Chris Fowler some credit for spotting everybody. But, and I guess you can't do this in the NFL because you have to tell everybody ahead of time, but you won. So let's bring those out a few more times.
Maybe
I'm not beyond being,
No.
superstitious on something
Heck
like
no.
that.
Are you kidding me? Why don't the Padres wear the brown jerseys
Tomorrow, they wore the.
Why not?
They wore the pinstripes today. We'll see if they switch tomorrow. All right, we'll get some quick thoughts on the Miami game. Also, what's the matter with the Bengals? I know Joe Burrow's out, but really,
that was embarrassing.
Like, is that the whole team? I mean, Jamar Chase, can't get open now?
I think it's the quarterback can't get him the
Really?
ball.
Is he okay? Well, you tell me. Is he standing there open and he's just not getting it to him?
No, you're right. I mean, that was an embarrassment last night.
Pretty bad.
A Monday Night Football.
In the NFL, you
couldn't
should
even move the ball.
In the NFL, you should never punt 8 times in a row.
No.
And most of those were 3 and outs.
And then last night, their last possession of the game, it was like 4th and 4. They punted. Like, if you're not telling your team that we're going home, like that was embarrassing. Yeah, at least go for it. Who cares if you don't convert and give them the ball in your territory? That was embarrassing. Should I say it again? That was embarrassing.
Yeah, I think you made your point. Okay. All right, we'll do some. We'll kick a little more football around, and we got the football news of the day. Tyreek Hill is. I don't know if he'll ever play again. His agent says he will, but I don't ever believe Drew Rosenhaus, honestly. So we'll get the latest on his injury. I still don't think they've said anything about Lamar Jackson.
He's doubtful, probably 2 to 3 weeks out.
Okay, but I didn't even see that. Brock Purdy may be back. Some other stuff on football and, a little daily Gambino coming up.
Coming up.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was just saying it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor, it's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the beaver nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name beaver nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the beaver nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100.
All right, happy hour is brought to you by GL Pool, swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Yes, the Padres are still going strong. This season, your pool should be too. Don't let algae or broken equipment bench your backyard fun. GL Pools. Mention the word radio when you call. You get a free month of pool service. Crisello, Skraby, special edition, Gwynn and Chris, after the Padres lost 3-1 to the Cubbies. Game 2 tomorrow. Start shortly after noon. And we will be having a viewing party at good old Park 101. It's in Carlsbad, right there in the Carlsbad Village. I think we're all going to be there, from what I can tell.
For the most part, yeah, I think so.
So we hope you'll come and join us. We are giving away 3 signed Padre baseballs, signed by different players. And we're also giving you a chance to win a Padre jersey, signed by Xander Bogaerts. And we're all going to be able to celebrate the series being even. I didn't say that with a lot of conviction. But
I'm going to say it.
I'm do the best we can.
You know what? In this time right now for us Padres people, I'm going to be positive and say there will be a game on Thursday.
Dolphins 27, Jets 21. It wasn't the debacle I thought it would be.
Of course it wasn't.
Although from the Jets' perspective, 3 fumbles. What'd they have? 19, 21 penalties. I mean, it seemed every play.
I think it was like 13 or 14.
But Aaron Glenn, after the game, was screaming so loud at the Jets. Everyone could hear him in the hallway.
Yep.
And, Miami played, I thought, pretty well. Ran the ball well with Achane. Defensively, at least it wasn't like automatic. I will say Justin Fields made an incredible touchdown scramble. You need to see it, Skrabe, if you haven't seen it yet. He was dead to rights on the right sideline and then spun over all the way to the other side and weaved through everybody. pretty good little play he made there.
I'm going to go watch it because I was not able to watch that game last night.
Tyreek Hill dislocated knee.
He did dislocate his heel.
And he dislocated everything else you can think of. He will have surgery, I think, today or tomorrow. Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, says Tyreek will be back next year. Most people have their doubts. And if you go back and look at other football players who've had dislocated knees, not many of them have made it back. One that has is Nick Chubb, and it took him a long time.
It did.
To come back. But we'll see. As a Dolphin fan, do I miss Tyreek Hill? Am I, upset about it? I honestly think it's addition by subtraction at this point. Tyreek had a pretty good game, I will say, last night.
He is a big
But he's such a distraction. I don't know that it may not just help them in the long run, honestly. Let's see. I tried to give you an update. There is really no update on Lamar Jackson officially. But Skraby is saying, or the rumors and the people are saying it's probably a couple of weeks. He's doubtful for the game against Houston, but there hasn't been an official thing from the Ravens.
I'm going to say that he misses this game.
All right. Ravens have not commented officially yet. Purdy, your guy, Brock Purdy, having toe issues continuing, but he says he hopes that won't keep him out Thursday against the Rams.
I was going to say it's a short
He didn't
week
have
for
much
them.
time.
I think that he may have played last week because Mac Jones ended up injuring his knee in that third game, and they didn't want to put the pressure on him. I don't know. I felt like Brock Purdy was coming back way too quick just because of the nature of the injury. But I am not a doctor, Chris.
49ers, Jawan Jennings is hurt. Ricky Pearsall is hurt. Brandon Ayuk is hurt. George Kittle is hurt.
Yes.
Who does that leave to throw the ball to? Skrabe. Brock Purdy may want to take another game off because there's no one to throw it to.
Hey, I want to bring something up too.
Yeah.
Because I lost my mind yesterday over a Robert Saleh issue.
And he apologized profusely today.
He did. He did. And I will say that's a big man to apologize. So you know what? I apologize to Chris for getting so crazy yesterday.
Well, you, in your defense on it, I didn't give you the whole story. I kind of put you in a tough spot.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah. Saleh originally, the first thing he said was, I'm going to mess up your world. And that's what Skraby thought I was commenting on.
Yeah, I had no idea he went further.
What I was commenting on was that Saleh went on to say, I'm going to basically end your life. I thought that was a little harsh.
He did.
Saleh did apologize for all of it today.
He said, and the whole,
and it was a heartfelt apology, I believe.
So. It's not, I'm not just saying this because I'm a 49ers fan, but I do feel like Liam Cohen overreacted because if you go back and watch the comments, the original comments, he was actually giving a compliment to the team. He also said he maybe has used some words that he may have changed, like cheating and stealing and things
I think
like
exactly what Robert Saleh did, which was overreact after the heat of a game, was the same thing that Liam Cohen did by overreacting in the heat of a game. On the other side of it, where he felt he needed to say, hey, you called us cheaters, or in his mind they did.
Yes.
You called me a cheater. We just kicked your butt, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So Saleh, anyway, that hopefully is
a
all
budding
behind
rivalry between the 49ers and the Jaguars.
They probably won't play for a while. One more quick fun thing that I love about the Dolphins, they cut their former second-round pick, a guy running a cornerback, Cam Smith. Now, Miami, we already know, has no cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was a second-round pick 2 years ago. He's so bad that they cut him. So that's how bad of a draft choice this was. But here's the fun part of the story. Cam Smith was a college teammate of the GM's son at South Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what, you're now drafting guys because he's friends with your son?
I mean, come on. Why do I root for that team, Skrabe? I wish I could find somebody else. That stuff really angers me.
I would love to go back and see kind of what
you're ruining our franchise by doing stupid stuff like that, and I'm the one who has to suffer every Sunday.
You are
me and all the rest of the Dolphin fans.
I think I would like to go back and look at the draft stuff to see if he was being rated as high as he was.
Well, I will say he was a second team all SEC cornerback.
Okay, well that's pretty good because the SEC is
but second team, is that worthy of a second pick?
I don't know.
I don't either. Obviously it wasn't because he never made it.
But hey, they're friends.
But his friends with his, so yeah, it's good.
He made his son happy.
Hey, Dad, I'm telling you, this is the guy. All right. Well, no worry. Don't worry about it. We got you.
You remember? Okay, I'm going to bring up something and take a sidetrack for a second. But someone reminded me recently. Remember when that was it the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons? His son called Shedeur Sanders and prank called him.
Vaguely, yeah.
So he prank called him and said he was a team, and then it ended up. But the son got his number through something that his dad had, and he stole it from him. That was crazy. Anyway, just trying to move on from the Padres loss today.
All right, Daily Gambit. I don't really need much of an open here. You went 3-3 yesterday. I went 2-4. So we got a couple of games we're going to talk about for tonight. The Dodgers take on the Reds. Dodgers by 1.5. This seems like Dodgers to me. Does anyone expect the Reds to go in there and steal game one?
I kind of do.
You do, huh? Okay.
Hunter Green has been pitching great.
Well, he's facing Blake Snell.
Yeah, and Blake
That's
Snell
a pretty good matchup.
Pitches well too.
But you're going to take Cincy?
I'm going to, yeah.
I think if anybody can do it, it's Terry Francona, but I hate to say it, I'll take the Dodgers. More strikeouts, Snell or Hunter Green?
Snell.
It wasn't your turn.
Oh, sorry.
I'll take Hunter Green then.
All right.
How do you like that? Oh, they both can get a lot of strikeouts.
They can.
Shohei, 3.5 total bases, over under.
3.5.
Remember,
so
a home run.
Hit a home run.
A home run will put him over.
2 doubles puts him over.
But that's a lot of total bases. I'm gonna say under.
Yeah,
in a playoff game.
I'm gonna go under.
Nobody else is scoring right now. Cleveland minus 1.5 tomorrow over Detroit. Game 2. Cleveland's got to win it to even, but the winner of game 1 always wins game 2. Who do you like here? Tigers for the sweep or the Guards?
I'm going to go with the Guards.
I'm going to go with the Guards too. I say the Tigers will not get swept, and that will give the Padres the good feeling themselves.
Yes.
To go out and not get swept. Padres Cubs, they lowered it to 6.5 runs. Over under. Today was 7. They were way under. What do you think for tomorrow? Somebody's got to get a hit. I'm going over. Come on.
I'm going to go over too.
Okay. Tonight, big game in the WNBA. Big enough that I'm going to probably tape some of this and watch it.
Wow.
I want to see how it ends up. The Phoenix Mercury already upset Minnesota in the other semifinal. They're in the finals. And by the way, I don't follow it closely enough, but the Minnesota Lynx coach lost her mind.
I did see headlines.
Was it the third game? Honestly, if they didn't hold her back, I think she would have just punched out the referees. And I mean, physically, she looked that mad.
Yes.
She got suspended for the 4th game. That's how bad she acted. And after the game, she just went off.
Yeah.
The officiating the WNBA is bad. I think we all get it. It needs to be improved. But I would suggest to all the coaches in the league to stop whining so much about it, because we're not focusing on the games. We're focusing on the officials, and that's not good for your sport.
The WNBA is trying hard to get their sport to be watched, but they're actually they end up getting all the outside noise.
They seem like all the Angel Reese and what she's tweeting,
and Caitlin
and
Clark,
who's fouling who,
Yeah.
and who's getting a hard foul, and who's mad, and who's pushing somebody, and the refs are terrible. It might all be true, but you're right. So much noise, we're not paying attention to the actual games.
We don't even care about the games. We just talk about the gossip, basically.
Anyway, tonight, hopefully there will be a game. Las Vegas hosting Indiana, game 5. Winner goes to the finals. Aces by 8. Skraby.
I'll go with the Aces.
Aces. I'm going with the fever. I got the fever. Here's why
I heard you coughing earlier.
I got the fever because I want them to win it all. And then we're going to try to figure out how that happened without Caitlin Clark actually playing on the team.
That would be incredible.
All right. We'll see what happens. Those are our games to keep an eye on. 2-1 Red Sox into the ninth. Boston's batting. Let's check some traffic here in San Diego. And hopefully there's no airplanes on the freeway.
Oh, I got a story for you after that.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Getting reports of a crash now southbound 5 before Washington Street. No details as to whether that is blocking any lanes. And southbound 163, an accident cleared at the South 805 connector. Now, South 805 has been a bit of a challenge toward the South Bay. An accident did clear before the 54. We still have this other crash, though, right before H Street. Tow truck is helping to clear that out of the right lanes. And a couple problems in the North County. Accident in the Carmel Valley Road on-ramp to northbound 5. And there's an accident blocking the right lane of the Felicita off-ramp of northbound 15. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, I'm going to tell you this story in just a second, Chris, but this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. The Staples HP Tech event is on. Now at Staples, tech smarter, not harder, with up to 40% off AI-powered PCs, plus up to 35% off select HP printers. America's most trusted printer brand. Offers end November 1st. Staples. That was easy.
What happened with the plane?
Okay.
Because my wife told me, did you hear a plane landed on the freeway? And it's like right here.
It was literally
yeah.
So I wish I would have seen this going down out the window, but I didn't. So I usually put on my traffic app so that I could see how long it's going to take me to get home.
Yeah, right.
And it said,
and you take the 15.
This is the road you take. To the 52 to the 5 or whatever that is.
Yeah, right.
And so I am looking at my app. It says 40 minutes. I'm like, wow, this is great, because usually it's about 55 minutes. And then I'm getting on the freeway, and all of a sudden it changes to 15 minutes more, and there's a bunch of traffic. And I couldn't figure it out because it was just right there where it slowed down. And as I'm inching along, I look and I see a plane sitting in the middle of the freeway.
There was a Cessna.
It was crazy.
There was a Cessna that landed right on the freeway.
That's
somehow
crazy.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
The
plane was fine.
Rolled to a stop.
Yep.
I mean, snarled traffic for a while.
It did.
And I imagine a lot of people, maybe in North County or people up there, did not, watch the news last night, or, are probably sitting, what?
Yeah.
A plane landed on the freeway? Yes, it did.
Well, we have Montgomery here, so I'm sure that they were trying to get
it left from Montgomery Field right over here. It went up. It turned around a couple of times. It said, uh-oh.
And
it landed. That's what happened.
Oh, man, that would be terrifying.
Not great, especially if you're driving over in the slow lane. You look over.
Oh, hey, honey, there's a plane.
It's already enough to try to dodge all these people driving 130 miles an hour. Now I got to dodge a plane landing 230 miles an hour.
So there was a couple of years ago, I ended up showing up to the show late because a plane landed next to the Del Mar Fairgrounds, and it stopped traffic completely. It took me 3 hours to get to work. So maybe it's me, Chris. Whenever I need to drive somewhere, there's planes landing on the freeway.
So. A couple of quick baseball notes. Skraby's going to get back to all the Padres stuff. So if you just tuned in and didn't get all the details on the 3-1 loss to the Cubs, Skraby's going to take you through all of that here at the top of the hour. But a couple of quick things. Ron Washington, as expected, is out after 2 seasons with the Halos. He never really got much of a chance. Medical issue kept him out pretty much all of this season.
Yeah.
Angels finished last, I think, each of the last 2 years. Ron Washington's 74 years old. Let me tell you, he can manage. The Angels, I mean, he proved it, right? With Texas, he got into the World Series twice. The Angels organization is just terrible.
Well,
and that's, there's not too much anybody can do now. All the money's tied up in Mike Trout and Ohtani is not even there.
I think Ron Washington had a pretty serious medical procedure.
Yes, he did this year, and I think
heart bypass, something.
Four quadruple bypass.
See, I think that's more of the reason why he's not coming back.
Maybe so, but anyway, he's out. Also, last night after our show, Texas made it official with Boch.
Yes.
And we said it yesterday, and not going to change my mind. I mean, how soon till they introduce him back in San Francisco?
They're just sizing up that huge hat of his right
and
now.
understand they won the World Series in 10, 12, and 14, right? It was all the even years.
Yes.
Next year's 26, an even year.
I mean, how old is Bochy at this point?
Who cares? He still knows more than anybody about
I'm
baseball.
not saying he's not capable. I'm surprised that the Rangers did fire him. He just won them a World Series. I know a couple years ago, but geez.
Hey, if the New York Liberty can do it, the Texas Rangers can do it also.
Like, if I'm a coach, I'm going to put in my contract, I get at least 3 years after I win you a championship.
Boch turns 70 in April.
Oh, okay. He's much younger than I thought.
Here's the trivia question of all time on Bruce Bochy. Where was he born?
France.
Wow. Landis de Bussac, France.
The only reason
That's
I know is because I
correct.
think it's so crazy that
Good
Bruce
job.
Bochy was born in France.
Good job, Skraby.
Thank you.
Nicely done. I think this is a funny picture of him. I recommend anybody go on Baseball Reference. There's 3 photos of Boch. The first one in the old Padre yellow and brown helmet. Like, that's just not who we know now.
No.
It's a great picture.
It is a good picture.
All right, Cubs won today. Skraby will take you through all of it in the Chronicles. We'll see you at the watch party tomorrow in Carlsbad at Park 101. For Tony, Skraby, Sammy, it's Chris. Let's do better tomorrow.